In today's eMoney tip of the week, I'm going to talk to you about part one of a two-part series on the client portal. And I split this up into two parts because I get two questions. And the first one is something along the lines of, Greg, do you use the client portal and why? And the second one is, if you use it, how do you show the value to your clients to get them to use it? So we're going to start with part one. First off, to access the client portal, we're going to go up here. So when you're logged into a client, make sure you're always in present mode here. You're going to click up here. If this was a real client and they have a login, it's going to tell me their login username and the last time they logged in. And if their password's expired, it's going to tell me there. I'm going to click managed up here. And when you come into here and managed, this is also, by the way, how you set it up. But this is where we're going to go to preview client website. So we will actually go in and do this when we have a potential client and we're in that first meeting and we get to the end and we talk about how we work with our clients and how we engage them. In part two, I'm going to walk you through how I do that. We use the onboarding feature, so if you don't have onboarding feature turned on, you won't see that, right? We're going to come in here, and again, I'm going to show you how I go through all this in just a minute. But this one is, do I use it? Yes. Do we have a high rate of usage? According to eMoney, we have what's higher, way higher than the average for power users. Why do we use it? So I have found this out through my own experiences, but just recently, which also led to me making this video because I'm getting more questions, eMoney just did a joint research project with the Financial Planning Association, two of my favorite organizations. And this research where they talked to 849 different advisors. Are you using the client portal? And what they found is 80% of respondents, 80%, that's not a mistake, said that it has made a substantial difference when it comes to improved client trust, aka the currency is business. In other words, 80% of financial planners that used it said it improved the level of their client trust. If you had a magic pill that could improve the level of your client trust, would you want to take it? Almost 2/3 reported greater client loyalty because of the portal, and 55% of the clients, 55% of the respondents said their clients were more satisfied with their practice. And this is my favorite one. 67% said it boosted referrals. I thought the financial planners all the time are trying to increase their referrals. So the question becomes, why does it do that stuff? I believe it's because it's the 24/7 answering line for you. It is the face of your firm. People refer you more when they think about you more. If clients log in more, they think about you more. If they log in and check their eMoney and they go to Little League practice or they go to soccer practice, you are fresh on their mind. When it's 2 o'clock in the morning and they can't sleep and they want to know how their financial plan is to give them peace of mind, and they log in and get their answer, they get peace of mind and go back to sleep. When they're having a conversation with their spouse after soccer practice or Little League practice or basketball practice, or maybe they went out to dinner with friends, or whatever it is that people do in their lives, that's when they have questions at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night when you're at home with your family making memories. You're not available. I love all these white glove service because you return client calls fast. That's old way of thinking. Clients want the answer when they want it and on demand, and it's outside the hours that the normal financial planner is working or available on their phone. That's why that client portal increases the trust, because it increases the transparency of a client's financial plan. Long gone are the days of 100 pages the client could understand, and the second it was printed, it was outdated. This is dynamic. It updates as the client inputs their information, as their balances change, as their life changes. They can self-service. They can change variables inside the plan and see how it interacts. eMoney, if you're listening, please, for the love of God, put Decision Center buttons inside the Goals tab in the client portal. That, I bet you my opinion, those percentages in that report would go way up. Client satisfaction, referrals would go up if you put the Decision Center buttons in a client's plan. I know there's reasons why they can't do that, but I'm always going to toot my horn out about that. So I think that that's really important to understand the psychology of the average client. And this is not generational, by the way. That's the same for 80-year-old clients. That's the same for 60-year-old clients. That's the same for 50-year-old clients. That's the same for 30-year-old clients. Yes, there's a 30-year-old who uses a flip phone, and yes, there's 80-year-olds that use a flip phone. But at the end of the day, we all access the internet for technology. It's 2023. That's the way of life. And so your clients want this, and if they don't get it from you, they're going to go get it from somewhere else. So I use 2 stories all the time with clients and with other financial planners about this. And the first one, this is a true story, by the way. And so a financial advisor had received a pretty large client. It was $5 million in advisory. Pretty substantial client for them, and I think most people would like a $5 million advisor. I know some of you listening have higher minimums than that, but you can all understand it's a pretty sizable client. And what happened was he was going every single morning, and he was going water skiing. They lived up in New England somewhere, and they would go during the summer, and they'd go at 6 o'clock because the water was like glass, and these 2 gentlemen, they would meet every morning. And eventually after a while, he says, what do you do for a living, right? And I'm a financial planner, we talk about this. And so eventually he ends up saying, like, hey, we want to use you. We want to engage with you. We like our person, but I really, really trust you because trust is a currency. And again, this report says 80% say increases trust. So they get together and they meet and they love everything and they move over $5 million. About roughly 5.5 months into this relationship, towards the end of the summer season of skiing, he tells his buddy they're going water skiing in the morning. He goes, you know what? Hey, we're going to be moving our accounts back to the old firm. Why? What's going on? Well, my wife she really wants to move the stuff out. Why? Well, you know my wife, she runs our entire financial household, right? Yeah. She uses this software to do it. And we had it at our old firm, and he's going to shut it off. See, what happened was the financial planner at the other firm said, thank you for allowing me to serve you when they said they were leaving. Wrote them a handwritten thank you note, thanked them for the years of letting them serve them and pursue their goals together. And he said, that software, I pay for that, and it's only for my clients, but I want to make this transition as smooth as possible for you. So I'm going to leave that client portal up so that you can move over all your stuff. At the end of 6 months, I'm going to turn it off. Well, this advisor that's forward thinking, he goes, I'm going to actually call this client. So he calls the client at about 5.5 months and says, just so you know, in a couple weeks, I'm going to turn that portal off. I want to make sure you got all your information. Thank you again for allowing me to serve this for all those years. If you ever need anything, reach out. She starts freaking out. She wants that client portal. So they go into the new advisor's office and they show them the eMoney and say, yep, we can't do that. We have nothing to do third-party data aggregation. Now it's 2023. Everyone and their brother has that. But back then they didn't. But most importantly, the way it worked. In a way she could see the entire financial plan, how it impacted the financial plan. See, he didn't take that away from her. He allowed her to keep it. But he took it away from her after 6 months. And they did move their money back over. And the financial planner, by the way, that told me the story, did eventually get eMoney and eventually did win the client back, by the way, because they really did like working with him. They just really loved having a client portal. And that was the reason why he went and got eMoney. The other example I like to use this with clients is eMoney has a video called Life in a Box. And I've been using eMoney since 2006. And I will tell you that Life in a Box video hasn't changed much because it's a compelling story. And what it is, I tell all my clients, it's like a junk drawer or Tupperware. For me, I like to use Tupperware. And every once in a while, I go to grab something out of Tupperware drawer, and it's all different colors, all different sizes. I get frustrated. I throw everything out there. I go and buy fancy Tupperware, aka I go to Walmart and buy it all the same color, all the same size, or it should be all the same different style. And I put it all back in there. I tell my wife, we are never going to let this happen again. And sure enough, 6 months later, guess what happens? Tupperware gets all messed up. That's how most people's financial planning life is. They go and meet with a financial planner. They go through this painful process of gathering all these documents all across places, and they organize it at one moment in time. They feel really excited about it, but they never follow up. And what this allows somebody to do is keep that updated. As you're meeting with your clients, it becomes the interaction. The next steps, they can see what were the things that my advisor told me I have to do. When they want to pull up on-demand reports, they can see the on-demand reports. When they want to see how their financial plan, when they're worried at night, they can see they're on track. That's why I built success. That's why I encourage you, if you're using eMoney, the best part of eMoney is the client portal. Is it a perfect client portal? No. But it gives you a tool to interact with your clients while you're sleeping and being present in their life. We hope this tip helped educate and empower you to do more plans for your clients so that you can impact more lives through financial planning. If you have some great tips we don't know about, we'd love to hear about them. If you have a better way of doing what we just showed you, we'd love to hear about that, because we are a noble profession, and together we can elevate the profession.